so this is my review for Season 8, Episode 5, Dead Air. First off, thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you, people. Hopefully you're watching this. You're awesome. Okay, first topic of discussion. Dooney. I like the part when he said he's married. As a result, 5 fanfics were born. I'm not really serious, but mark my words. And kudos to Michael Weatherly, he was especially hilarious in this episode, especially with like him losing the voice. Tony finally hit puberty. They grow up so fast. One thing that was addressed in this episode was old Ziva versus new Ziva. Okay, so in my previous videos, if you watched those, I was kind of a bit in denial that Ziva had changed. But yeah, I admit it, she's changed. I mean, when the shows addressed it, yeah. So Ziva did the time warp, and they erased the last 5 years of her life. Does she get her 5 years back? Is she like no longer a legal citizen? I'm not sure if they addressed that. Seriously, is she like still a citizen? Is she an illegal? Will she have to marry Tony to stay in the country? Let's hope not. But no, seriously, getting a glimpse of the Ziva of old was awesome. Somebody fix her. I miss her. Another thing in this episode, daddy issues. I love how she talked to the little ginger girl, because sometimes the fathers, they do things that require a lot of forgiveness. I would know my dad left me in a prisoner of war camp to die. I'm not calling discontinuity or anything, I'm just saying that if she's now having forgiveness thoughts about daddy, it's going to make it all the more interesting when he returns later this season. And then later she says that her dad taught her baseball. I'm on the fence about who she's talking about, because first I'm like, okay, Eli DeVee taught her baseball? Like, can you picture that? Is anyone else having trouble getting that mental visual in their head? So it's either going to be Eli or Gibbs. I thought Ziva was not liking her dad lately. You know, because the whole aforementioned leaving her in the prisoner of war camp to die. Personally, I'd still be pissed off. Oh, daddy, the man who taught me how to play catch and load and assemble an AK-47 in less than 30 seconds. Good times. And then with Gibbs, after she says it, Gibbs kind of gives her a little smile and nod. Seems a lot more logical that she's talking about Gibbs, but I'm having trouble coming up with the context in which that lesson would occur. I'm really on the fence. I think it's more likely that it's Gibbs, but still, like, could you just imagine, hey Ziva, wanna come over and I'll teach you how to play ball? Like, how would that even happen? I'm still kind of puzzled. So, common question. Was Ziva talking about real daddy or pseudo daddy? Okay, now on to the Tiva. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of Tiva discussion. I really would like to do a separate video at some point. I don't really have the time now. Just about Tiva in general and my views on it and what I think is kind of going on there. But for now, I cannot not talk about the epic Tiva that was in this episode. Undercovers is maybe my favorite episode. It's so good. And to have like little throwbacks to it. Thank you, powers that be. Thank you. And then the scene at the end where she screamed his name and then tackled him to the ground. It was like boxed in and Undercovers all mushed into one, which is really awesome. This one just reminded me of a Tiva moment of old. And I just want the old humorous, flirty banter back. Is it really too much to ask, Shane Brennan? Anyway, the Tiva in this episode was awesome. I could barely control myself. Okay, now I have to admit I was a little bored for the first like third of it, but all the stuff that I just talked about really made up for it. So I'm gonna give it a good solid 4 out of 5.